people thought this will be a good
Oh my God!
finale.
Wow!
And we
What a
just
fucking night!
blew that expectation out of the water. So thrilled for everybody here, excited for all of it, and I'll open it up to questions.
I mean, I knew this shit was
first row,
gonna be
left-hand
crazy.
side.
Mother.
Hey, Paul, Jan Murphy, Toronto Sun. There have been some pretty iconic moments happen in Toronto. You think
I'm
about
not even
Hogan Warrior,
like,
Rock
I don't know, I'm
Hogan,
still-
Cena's return last year, and then tonight.
I'm still trying to find the words.
Where do you think tonight
I'm
fits into
seriously
that sort
trying,
of legacy that Toronto has? And
like,
is
mad
Toronto still
right
a viable
now to
market
find
for,
the
say,
words.
WrestleMania return?
Because we got the one thing
I think all
that after
markets
20
are,
fucking
right?
years we never thought we'd ever see.
You know, the
We're going to get into that here
that
in
is
just a
a
moment. We're
different
going to talk
animal
about how
now
the
that
night
is-
started.
includes a bidding process and everything that goes into it, because it is
Jade
such
Cargill,
a
ladies and
massive
gentlemen.
business. Hundreds of millions of dollars pour into the city that brings
It's been
WrestleMania.
reported, I
The
talked about it
economic
earlier.
impact that we have
She was expected to be in
going
Toronto
into
tonight. Damn it
a
all,
city
she was in
where
Toronto
anywhere
tonight.
in the globe with something the scale of WrestleMania is just, it's incredible. It's an incredible windfall for them. But in any place that has a vibrant fan base
Anyway,
and has a
yeah,
building like
I'm
this,
sorry.
like the Rogers
It's
Center
just
that we can
really,
go
really
into
wild. I'm
and
still mind
pack it
blown
with a
over
lot of people
everything that,
and get them there
that
from
we
all
all
over the
just
globe.
witnessed.
So it's
I
definitely
mean,
on the list.
as I said, we'll get into
where does
everything
tonight
as I can
fit
bit
in
by
that-
bit in a moment.
In that,
Of course, it starts off
sort
with
of
the women's
list of
chamber
epic
match,
moments.
and specifically with
You
Liv
don't know right
and
until
Naomi,
time passes.
or at least so
Like,
we thought.
I say this all the time
And then
about
all
when
of a
we were in
sudden,
the Attitude
Jade
Era. There was just
Cargill's
these incredible
music
things that
hits.
happened, but for I don't know, some of them was
She
just
storms her way
right?
down
That's
to
just
the
what's happening.
chamber, into the ring.
And then, you know, as things move on, you realize.
Initially, looks like
oh my
she's
God,
going
that's like one
after
of those
Liv,
things
and
that
Liv, of
lives
course, is
forever.
selling it, thinking
I
that
do
she's
feel
actually
tonight, though, up there watching
like
it.
Jade
and
is
having
actually
seen
there for
these
her.
Kind of things. You
But in
know,
reality,
the
she goes
majority
after
of my
Naomi.
life and 30 years of my career here, and being, like I said, being
It's real interesting because I've
fortunate
actually
enough and
got
privileged enough to be
a
around
monitor
some of
with
the
Trips
biggest
doing the
moments
press conference
in
for
this
the post
business.
show.
That felt like one of the biggest things I've ever seen happen.
But a little bit
and
earlier,
be a part
Bianca was
of
on
the-
there with
You know, I remember Bruno telling me stories
with
about
Rosenberg,
Madison Square Garden when
Biggie,
Koloff beat
and
him, and that he had thought he had been hit in the
Tessitore,
ear,
and
and he went deaf for a second
was
because
emotional as hell,
the
of
1, 2,
course.
3 happened.
one
It was
off
so
winning
silent
the chamber, but also
that
after
he
everything
thought,
that happened
like,
to start the chamber
something happened. And
match.
when the first person yelled, he thought, "Oh God, thank God I can hear." It was just so stunning, and that's what I felt like.
Something that
happened
was
to
really interesting in
here
that is
tonight.
that she
You know,
did
the-
mention that Naomi
the
wasn't
look
at the
on
ring at the
people's
time when
faces
all that
ringside
happened.
as we were
And
taking
of
camera
course that
shots,
she would have been warming
just
up,
people
which
were
is probably
stunned.
true.
And I think they didn't, as much as maybe
It's gonna
as
be
it was
really,
happening,
really
you're
interesting
starting
to see
think
how all
yourself,
this
like, oh my God, what's
unfolds.
going to happen here? Is it Cena? Oh my God, he's looking at Rock funny.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
perfectly
like,
real
it
with
just,
y'all about one
it
thing.
builds
before
to
I
the
move
moment,
on.
and when it happens, you
I
still
don't
can't
believe it was
it.
Naomi that did it.
But I got to tell you,
I
it
think
felt
it
like
was
one of
Jade.
the biggest things I've ever been
Same
a
way
part
that
of.
Eddie Thorpe attacked Eddie Thorpe before working his way into that
inside.
title match
First row.
with Trick Williams and Obafemi. That's what
Emily
Jade
May,
did.
Sportskeeda Wrestling.
Hi, Emily.
That's what
Hi.
Jade
So
did.
we saw
But
obviously.
whether I'm right
this
or wrong, we'll talk
intense
about that
attack
here.
right now.
Probably in
And
the
you
next
touched on
couple of
it a
days,
little
we'll
bit,
find out.
But do you agree
Nonetheless,
that this was the right moment for John Cena to do this and attack Cody
Speaking of
Rhodes?
said women's
And do you
chamber
have
match,
any
we have our
updates
winner
on
and we
Cody's
have
status
our
after tonight's
women's
attack?
world title match set for WrestleMania. It's going to be
I
Bianca
believe
and
that
Rhea,
John
which
Cena
I have
has been
absolutely
in
no
this
problem
business
with.
and has been the focal point of this
Except for
business.
how is all this shit going to work
Dedicated
after
his
everything
life to
that
it,
just fucking
put
happened
his
with
body on the
Jade?
line
Oh
to a
my God.
point
And
that
really,
he
I'm not
has
even
earned
saying
the
that
right
as if
to
it's a
do it
bad
whenever
thing,
he
if I'm
wants
being
to do it.
perfectly honest. This is actually really, really
I
exciting
believed
shit, if I'm
wholeheartedly a
being
month ago
honest.
or whatever it was
I
when he said
mean,
at the Royal Rumble, like,
At
screw
the
that. I'm
very
going to
least,
do
we
what's
could
best
get
for
a
business now, and
really
I've changed my mind now. What's best for business for me is
superpowered
winning
triple
the
threat.
WWE Championship. What's best for business is
Possibly
me
a
making
fatal
that
four-way if they
WrestleMania.
decide they want to
And
throw
he's running out of
Naomi
time
into
to
it
do
just
that
for the
because
shits
John
and
is one
gigs.
of the few people
But
that I
think
believe
at
when
the
he
very least
says,
it probably becomes
I
a
am
triple
going
threat.
to retire when this is
Because
over and you're not going to see me in the ring again. Will he be a part of
after
WWE? Yes,
just
he always will be. This is his home.
absolutely annihilating Naomi,
Hell, he
Jade
built half
very
of this
easily
in my
could have
mind.
went up to Bianca and made the point,
But he's
she
earned
didn't.
that right.
So maybe
to
for that reason
do
and
it
that
when he
reason
wants
alone,
to do
that
it,
is one
to go after what he wants to go
way that
after
we're able to
in
keep the
whatever
door
way
open
he sees
as
fit
far
to
as
do
the
it.
attacker having actually been Naomi.
You know, for a while,
I'm willing to consider that, but I
people
still
were
think it's
throwing
Jade.
out
But
on
again,
air
that's
a
aside
lot
from
the
the point.
greatest of all time.
What I'm wanting to say
John
here
Cena,
is that
until
this
I
is
believe
definitely
John
going to
Cena
make
asked
for
us to
what
stop
could
calling
be
him
an
the
awesome
greatest of
main
all
event.
time.
It's going to be interesting to see how that works between
But
that,
it's really easy to make the
Tiffy
argument
and
that he
Charlotte,
is.
and then of
and
course Gunther and Jey Uso.
You know, watching that, again, I was watching it tonight with my headset on at a
And
monitor,
along with
thinking, holy shit,
this match that we're now
greatest things I've ever
getting,
seen.
as we'll talk
And I
about for the
cannot wait
WWE title,
to see where it goes now, because even
only
though
two of those can
we're
only
creating
close out the show.
you know, I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell he's
I
going to do.
guess we'll find out how all that works out, but
I don't know. You know,
at
if
the
you
same
flip
time,
back
I also
a year
have to point out the fact
before
that
Rock
it's really going to
turned,
depend
I don't
on the
think
build
anybody would have seen this final boss character and what we're doing with it.
I mean, I think the obvious main event for night 2 is going to be the WWE
variables
Championship
here
match,
are
which
incredible.
we'll talk about here
Where
in a
we
bit.
can go
But
with this is
as far as
unlimited.
night 1, that's definitely
And when you
anyone's
have
guess on that.
people as good as
Like I said, we'll find out and we'll talk
Cody,
about it. But
as
anyway,
good as
we're going to
Rock,
move right
as
along
good as
to
Cena,
the next part of the night. Well,
and you mix that
actually,
all
I am
together,
omitting
like,
the women's tag match featuring
it's limitless. So
what is it?
you know,
Nia
even though I'm
Jax
part of that,
and
I can't wait to
Candice
see where it
LeRae
goes.
against
I really mean
Tiffany
that.
Stratton
It's
and
part of me as a
Trish
fan that is
Stratus,
just in awe of it right now.
which definitely was entertaining
Left
in and
side
of
of row
itself
two.
for all the right reasons. I mean, it was definitely a really good cool-down
Jamak Kosandu
match.
for Screen
I
Off
kind of
Script.
feel like they should
You're all
have
about telling
flipped
stories,
that
Triple H, and that final
the
segment
unsanctioned
had an
match
F-bomb
with
from
KO and Sammy,
Cody,
which we'll talk about
had
here
a
in
heel
moment.
turn from Cena.
But
It was violent,
all the
it was
same,
bloody,
you know,
and it was
it was
fantastic.
what it needed to
and
be.
it really
It was
lit
just
a massive
a little bit of filler, but it was
fuse
good
for
filler.
WrestleMania.
And of course,
What
Trish
I'd
got
like
to
to
perform
know
in front of
is,
her kids
could you just
live.
provide
Can't go
some
wrong with
insight
that. But anyway,
into what this
we're gonna
entire
move right
creative
along. Like I
process
said,
was
the
like for you,
unsanctioned match,
the
and
individuals
of course, I'm
involved,
skipping right
what
to
was the
the end
genesis
here, where
for
we
this
talk about
segment,
Randy Orton
and
pulling up.
how you finally think that everything landed tonight.
And I got to just for the fact
Like
that
everything we
it
do,
kind of
I'm-
started with Orton. With
I'm
this
a really
whole,
big
with this whole
proponent
tirade
of
of Kevin
collaboration.
Owens. I mean, obviously he went after Cody, but then he
I
went
want all
after
the
Randy
ideas.
Orton
I want to
just
throw
to
them
make
all out
the
on the
point.
table. I want us to all look at
Cody
all of them
about-
and then begin to have conversations
Yeah,
around
I mean,
like,
I'm not
what is the
even
best
trying to
thing,
go into that
and then
because
start to
words
think
are
of,
not
okay, so out of those
going
things,
so well in my
how
head
can we
right
tear
now.
those up?
What I
and,
will say, however, is
I don't know,
that
blow them up
I
and go
think
in a
this is an obvious
completely
setup that
different
we're getting
direction that nobody
Randy
will see.
Orton and
You know,
Kevin
it's hard
Owens at
sometimes to think
WrestleMania, which is pretty cool.
He sees because
and
nobody
this
sees
matchup,
it. Right? Like,
I
and
think,
that
set
includes you
everything up
when you're
pretty
doing
well
it, and
because
it's, you know, at some
was
point in
every
time,
bit of
little
what
germs of ideas
you
come
would
in, and what
actually
if,
have
what if,
anticipated
oh my
that
God,
to
what
be
if, right?
in
And it
terms
just begins to
of
percolate. I'm
just
fortunate in this time frame
the
that I have some of the
violence,
great
the
minds to
brutality,
work with,
and
right?
just-
Like, you know,
I mean, it was a fucking unsanctioned match.
Dwayne and I have been working
I mean,
together
I don't know what
for,
more
I
you
don't know,
need to say other than that.
almost 30
But
years.
I will actually say
in
this
some
much
manner,
also,
right?
in
Like,
addition to that,
here, anyways, right? And
of course,
he's always
KO
been an
wound up
epic
getting the
storyteller.
win.
He's always been an epic guy to get outside of the
think it was
box
a
and like,
pop-up
let's
powerbomb on
do
the neck
something
and everything,
different.
So yeah,
And
all
let's,
that
how can we blow this
Oh
up
man,
and
it was just bananas watching
change
it from beginning to
expectations?
end,
How
but
can we
then,
make
of
this
course,
something
again,
that
Randy
no one's
Orton
ever
comes
seen
out
before?
as
It's
Kevin
really
Owens
easy
is
to
actually
go like,
about to pile
oh,
drive
let's do that. I
Sammy
saw this
Owens
once.
on
Let's do
some
this angle. Let's do that.
exposed
Right? That's
concrete.
easy. Going into uncharted waters, trying
yeah,
things out
I
that's never
mean,
been done before,
It
or
was just
done in a
crazy.
different
Randy
way,
was going to
things
go
that
for
people
the pun
won't
at
see
one
coming.
point, and then of
That's
course
a
all the
lot
security and officials
different,
went
and
in to
that's a
stop
lot more
him.
challenging. So you
And a
need
good handful
everybody's
of them
ideas
caught
and
an
thought
RKO
processes.
for the
it
troubles.
starts
I mean,
with a bunch
what
of
more
people
can you ask for than
coming
that?
up with great
What
ideas
more can you ask for
to
than
try
that?
to
With just
entertain our
people getting
fans,
the RKO.
and
But nonetheless,
lead them in a
Oh,
direction,
man.
and then jerk them into the other direction when they don't see it coming, if we can do that. And people are pretty savvy, right? So they're tuned into a lot of the stuff we do, and they sense things coming, and it's why we get so upset when we
What's
see
there to be
spoilers
said?
and things leak.
What's
And
there to be
believe me,
said?
half of the
Again,
things that are spoilers
20
and that
years.
leak are wrong.
We
but,
finally
like,
get the
when
heel
you do
turn.
get the ones that are out there where
we
you're
finally
like,
get the heel
like, it
turn
just- it
after
drives you
having
nuts.
started off as a doctor
The
of
one thing about
thugonomics.
tonight that I was
John John Cena has sold
absolutely
out
loved
to
his
The
out of
Rock.
nowhere.
I mean, my God, wow.
Because nobody knew.
This was beautifully done.
Like,
and for whatever
when I say nobody knew
reason,
here,
Travis Scott was
nobody.
involved, but fuck
Right
it,
before
why
the
not?
finish of the
I mean,
Elimination Chamber, I had to say to the truck,
man,
everybody
and
lay
I just
out. I have all
seen
traffic
again,
on
like I
this,
pointed out,
on where
I
we go
got
next.
the post
Because
show
nobody
on
knew
another
what was coming.
monitor here.
Right? It was very, very tight.
Apparently, we're gonna hear from John Cena.
Of people, because we're
Apparently, John Cena is gonna
just
explain
trying to
himself. I don't know if it's
entertain
gonna
people
be in the
and do it in a
presser
way that
or
is amazing.
maybe him, The
and
Rock, and
next
Travis Scott are
level,
gonna
and
cut a
things they
promo
don't see
somewhere,
coming, and just,
like the
you know,
Death Riders or some
I
shit.
just hate when
I don't
people go
know.
to see the movie and then they have to tell
All I
everybody
know
that they know
is,
what the finish of that
man,
movie is. Like,
this
just let me
was-
watch it. Don't tell me. Like, I don't, like, jeez. You know, so
Vince would have never done this.
where does it start? It
Let's just
starts
call that
with
what it is.
a
Vince
group
would
of
have
people that
never
just love this.
ever
It
come
rocks
close
blood.
to doing
He doesn't
anything
manufacture
like what
those goosebumps
Triple
when he
H
comes
pulled
out. That's
off
him.
tonight. Not a fucking shot in hell.
You know, and I think that there's a massive group of people here internally at WWE, talent and everything,
Man.
that is how they are.
Oh
They
my
live,
God.
breathe, sleep this, and want it to
I'm
be
at a
epic.
loss right now.
And we start
I don't
there,
even know how
and
I'm
then it
coming together with the words to
escalates.
even talk about
So
any
it's
of this shit.
a
What
it's
I
a
will
team
say
effort here that I'm
It's
incredibly,
just,
incredibly
for all the
proud of
things
the
that
people that are here.
ended up unfolding that led to
For our
this.
final question,
Just
we'll
the
head to
way
the
that
front row,
everything came together
left side.
with the chamber match.
Thank you.
I mean,
Keith Whittier
we'll
with
almost
Hollow
forget
Life
about
Magazine.
the fact that there was an
Congratulations on
actual
an amazing
chamber
PLE
match
from beginning to
right
end.
before any of this happened.
Congratulations on your
John
congratulations
Cena
on your Hall of
stayed
Fame
in the
induction.
fucking ring.
As the product
He
continues
stayed
to grow and
in
grow,
the
how
fucking
far away
ring.
are you guys from pulling the trigger and saying that we're just going to be doing stadiums for PLEs and also perhaps looking at doing 2 nights for all PLEs?
And then, of
Because you
course,
do it for
just to
several of
go
them
into
already, and I know
at least some
SummerSlam we're going
detail
to be doing
about
it.
it.
You can make the
We
argument.
get
You could do it for Rumble.
we get the
you could
moment
do it
that
for
we were all
Survivor
waiting
Series, you could have
for.
done
The
it
Rock says
for
we've
this
all
one.
been waiting
And then,
for it.
and then my
It's
other
decision
question
time,
is,
basically.
as we go to WrestleMania,
What is it going to
it
be,
looks
Cody
like
Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes will be
And
in the
of
main
course,
event
Cody
for night 2.
responds, basically saying,
what is the possibility of one of the women's
my soul
championships
was
being
never
in the
mine
main
to
event
begin
for
with.
night
I
1?
gave it to this match, to these
It's
people,
always
blah,
possible.
blah, blah.
So let me answer the second half of that first, and thank you
And
for
ultimately
asking.
proceeds to tell The Rock
to me,
to
it's
go
always
fuck
possible.
himself.
As we build this, to me, nothing's locked
Oh
into
my
any
God.
spot. As we
Of
build
all the
this,
things I wasn't counting
what
on,
resonates the most
one of
will
them was
become the
not
main
a go
events.
fuck
So
yourself.
nothing is locked in.
Not even in a million years.
I believe
And yeah,
that
I see
for
this
talent,
shit's
that's the
getting
best way to
lengthy.
do
I
it.
know
Let
this
everybody
isn't
fight
anything new,
over
but I
the
kind of
spots.
counted on this
Let everybody
being the
work
case
their ass
because
off.
my
Let
lord.
everybody try to do
My
what we're
lord.
trying to do,
Oh,
which is
my
write
lord.
things that are outside
What
the
a
box, do things people haven't seen. Let them get
Nonetheless,
out there
anyway, of
and
course,
challenge themselves so that
everybody's
every moment
cheering
that
and
they
they're
have on
happy
TV,
and
people
hollering,
forget
celebrating.
how
And
much
even
value there is
Cena
in the TV that we put out.
looks
right?
like he's
so when
getting
you
a
have
kick
a
out
moment
of
on
it.
TV, I don't care if it's
Walks up to
30
Cody,
seconds,
daps him
a
up,
minute,
gives him the bro
2
hug.
minutes, or 20 minutes.
But then he's
Maximize
looking
those
eye to
minutes.
eye to
Make
The
the
Rock.
most out of it. Tell me
The
why
Rock
you
comes
should
through
be
with
in
the
that main
signature
event. Go out
cutthroat
there
shit,
and don't.
and the
go,
rest
I
is
hope they put me
history.
in the main event.
Cena
Take
just
it.
kicks him in the nuts.
Take it. Make it undeniable. That's what I want
And
talent to do. I
it
want
just-
talent.
I
I want
mean,
everybody that's a part of this to make it
I
undeniable.
don't even think I
that
need to
they
say
should be in
anymore. The
spot
picture
they should be in.
speaks for
I
itself.
don't believe in
And
giving
it was every
anybody
bit
a
as
spot,
brutal
but
as we
the
would have
women should have
expected.
the main event spot.
Maybe even more so.
It's
I don't
nice.
know. Depends
If
on
it
who
is
you
the
ask.
most interesting thing on the show
Man.
and is getting the biggest reaction,
Again,
which
what
when
a
I put
fucking
them in
night.
main events, it's
Oh
because
my
of that.
God.
They earn that. They earn that right, and they have earned the right through their work, their
Now
hard
I'm
work,
really
their
at a
sacrifice,
loss.
their dedication, just like everybody
So
else,
that
to
y'all
be
know
treated
what it
like
is.
everybody else,
Let me know what
and
y'all
work their
thinking
ass
down
off to
there.
get
Like, share,
what they
subscribe.
want, just like everybody else does. I don't treat them any differently,
What a fucking night.
and the reason I don't treat them any differently is because I respect